In this video, it is the Redcat Ascent Fusion, the factory upgraded crawler, getting a few additional upgrades that now Redcat offers for it. We have two big old heavy front portal covers along with the diff cover. So we're going to get a baseline weight, we're going to show you how to put these on, and if there's any tips or tricks along the way that you need to watch out for as you install them. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Troy. This is Roadside RC. You'll tend to find me crawling or bashing or drifting or racing, plus doing product review videos and how-tos. Let's get the body off, the wheels off, and start digging into this Redcat Ascent right after we get a baseline weight. Here is the truck factory weight, no battery, except for trio wheels and Endura inserts on the front, factory foams on the rear. We are at 6139 with a 1722-23 front weight, 2814 overall. We're going to see how much we move that by putting the bigger brass parts on the front. Tools for this job, really pretty simple. 7mm box wrench in order to get the wheel nuts off. A little awl here in order to pry out the bearings, along with a flat blade screwdriver to get that hex off. All the screws that we're dealing with here today, 1.5mm, and I use these MIP speed tips, along with this electric power screwdriver that I've had really good luck with. I can have a link down in the video description to all the tools plus the parts for today so that you have easy reference and you can pick them up if you don't have them. Now the first step is this front diff cover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws and it comes off. I am hoping there's just enough clearance that we can take those 6 screws out and not have to take this rod across the front here off. I'm going to get those 6 out and see if I'm right. Well, that answers the question whether it comes off or not. And now before we put the new part on, I always like to double check dimensions. A lot of the times, some people when they make these brass portal covers, they'll thicken this part, this flange up as well. So maybe you'll need different screws. It looks like here from Redcat, they kept that flange nice and thin. Looks like we're basically dealing with the exact same dimensions as the factory part, just now in brass, which is a good news because that means the high clearance and angles that we had with the factory part are still available here. It means that probably as the aftermarket picks up for this truck, you'll be able to find some that are even heavier than this one, but you will sacrifice some steering angle to use those. Since it's the same dimensions, it should slide right back in top. First part in and done. Perfect. Now we're going to turn our attention to these outer hubs, and we should be able to just pop the hex off. So you get it out past. There you go. Take this little cross pin out, make sure you don't lose it. And then very similar to the differential, we should have just a few screws here. Now obviously here we have just a few parts that we need to swap over. We should be able to pull this gear and the shaft out. There we go. Oh, came with the bearing. That is convenient. So that bearing needs to go in there. And then I'm going to use a small awl here to try to pop out this bearing. And that needs to go into the top. And there we go. Super simple like that. And then this whole thing can just bolt right back up. Again, when you compare the dimensions, it looks like they're meaning for us to just still continue to use the same hardware. I assume this other side is going to be just the same as that one, and so I'm going to go ahead and skip that on video and jump straight to this being done. Now, I wanted to check this really clearly because some folks said that there was some issues potentially with clearance with these new parts. And coming over and hitting the steering stop over here on the right hand side of the car, I see no issues over here with this portal cover. Same way coming back here, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing any reason why there'd be a clearance issue with it. So I'm not sure. I have to go back and look to see what that person's complaint was because this looks completely fine. Let's grab a wheel. And again, these are aftermarket trio wheels. But again, no issues there. It looks like it's going to clear everything, clear the hardware. Yeah, looks like it's going to be perfect. Now, moment of truth with all that weight on there. We're at 2,900 grams just over total weight. 1810 on the front, 1091 on the rear. So, of course, the rear did not change, as it should not. Total weight and front weight went up about 90 grams and shifted about a weight percent from the rear to the front. That 90 grams on the front means about a 5% weight for just the front difference itself on the truck. So we're excited to get this truck out and see what these changes and differences mean in the real world now. But unfortunately, that's going to be in the next video. So if you were curious to see this truck modified out there crawling, stay subscribed, hit the follow notification button so that you see when the new videos come out. If you're curious about anything else that I've done with this Redcat Ascent, there'll be a playlist over here to your right of all the Redcat Ascent things that I've done, so you can check out everything there. Modifications, driving, all that kind of stuff. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.